Every world with living things is a treasure.
Welcome to Paradiso. Jiro Sukiyama at your service. Do you have a security concern, or is there something else I can help you with? Ah, yes, of course. I'm glad you came. As you can imagine, we're in a bit of a predicament. Under normal circumstances, we would not enlist outside help in this manner. But this is a matter we can't afford to worry our guests about. As such, we need to handle this discreetly. Failure on your part to do so could have severe consequences. So, before we proceed, can you swear not to discuss this with anyone else unless explicitly directed to do so? Great. I appreciate it. Not too long ago, a strange and enormous ship appeared in Parima space. It is now locked in orbit around our planet. So far, it doesn't seem to be hostile, but any attempts to communicate with it have been in vain, so we're unsure of the ship's intentions. That matches our experience with it as well. Since you've already tried to hail them, you may have to go straight to boarding the ship. Whatever you do, it's important to remember to seek diplomacy with who or whatever's on board. As soon as you have any more information, report to Oliver Campbell. He's the CEO of Paradiso. All formal decisions will need to go through him, and he'll have your pay. Good luck.
Always a satisfying moment to return to your ship.
Stay alert. Weapons at the ready.
You're human. Oh, pardon my ignorance. We just didn't expect to find people out here. We didn't think anyone else left Earth before us.
You thought you were the only ones? I am afraid you have been unaware of a great many things.
Perhaps we should greet our guests.
Of course. Manners. I'm Captain Diana Brackenridge. This is Security Officer Bomani Reader. And this is Dr. Mabuti da Costa, one of our elders.
A pleasure to meet you.
I see. As you may have presumed, we're in a bit of a bind. Our ship has finally completed its near 200-year journey from Earth, only to find our new home seemingly colonized by... well, we don't know. Communications haven't been successful, so your arrival is fortuitous. Perhaps you'd be willing to act as a middle person between ourselves and... the others. Well, the short answer is, we didn't. It's a generation ship, which is to say that most of us lived long, happy lives on board and passed our mission down to our children. It was never intended that the original crew would make it to our destination. The goal was always the preservation of the human race above all else. Though, it would seem that was perhaps a bit presumptuous. We do. Well, sort of. We saw structures using our surveying equipment. We've also seen the various ships pass us by. Some even seemed to want to communicate, but couldn't. Of course, we had no idea that they were being piloted by other humans. Ah, your question confirms one of our recent theories. It would seem that some form of faster-than-light travel or space-bending technology was invented during our long journey. That would explain why we would find people this far out into space. I guess technology leapfrogged us at some point. Interesting. I can only imagine that our predecessors didn't believe the technology would ever work, and so they made the decision to leave when they did. Oh yes, of course. Where are my manners? Now then, please follow me. There's much to discuss first. We'll speak more on the matter once we reach the bridge. Dr. DaCosta, you may return to your quarters if you wish.
Thank you, Captain.
I will follow you to the bridge, ma'am. For security purposes.
I do not believe we have need to fear our... but I'll allow it if you insist. Welcome to the Earth colony ship Constant. In the early 2100s, my ancestor, Rupert Brackenridge, researched a number of scientific scenarios: climate change, asteroid impact, nuclear war, global pandemic, and more. Each scenario showed the likelihood of an extinction-level event to be within 50 years. He fully believed Earth was destined to be rendered uninhabitable. We've always assumed that's what happened.
Careful waving that
He
fancy
gathered the
gun
best and
around.
brightest he
You
could
don't need
find,
to see
built the
me.
Constant, and set a course for this planet here. We were told that it was the largest, most advanced ship ever constructed on Earth at the time. If you can believe, entire generations have been born, lived, and died on this ship. It really goes to show that there are no limits to human ingenuity and perseverance.
The Constant is a peaceful ship. Don't change that. Never seen a ship like yours before. Well, then again, I haven't seen any ships before you arrived.
So, here we are.
I am both shocked and impressed that all of this is still functional.
Now that you're here, I can finally give my crew a chance at a new life. A bit frazzled, as you can imagine. People are anxious about discovering that we're not alone, and also worried about what will come to pass. While we hope we can work out a deal with the people on the surface, they seem reluctant to reach out, so there's no telling what will come of that. I do know that we can't afford to stay here in orbit forever. The ship was built to sustain us for many years with backup provisions just in case, but even that will come to an end eventually. I think I'm coming up on 6 years now. I was only a teenager when my father died, passing command of the ship to me, as is tradition. Because of that, I've had to sort of learn as I go along, instead of taking years of study and apprenticeship under the prior captain. I think some people on the ship resent me for not having the level of experience as my predecessors. But at the same time, without my command, we likely wouldn't have made it here so quickly. Well, as I mentioned, we've been unsuccessful in communications with anyone up until you arrived, though not for lack of trying. But since you're asking, maybe you'd be willing to be a sort of diplomat between us and them as we attempt to resolve our situation. Does that sound agreeable to you? We suspect that our equipment is woefully obsolete compared to whatever you all have now. In all honesty, we never expected to need to communicate with anyone, so our comms aren't particularly robust. That limits our options. We even attempted communicating with lights and sounds, something we saw in an old movie, but I don't believe they picked up on it. If anything, it may have inadvertently alarmed them. We know there's a settlement on the planet below, meaning people were here before us. You see, we intended to settle here, but we assumed that they intend to defend their claim given their presence here. We'd like you to go speak to them on our behalf and help us negotiate a solution, preferably one that favors us. Based on the data our ancestors had when they launched this endeavor, it was determined that this was the perfect planet for us. Even if we had another viable candidate planet, we lack the resources to get there. And as you know, it took us 200 years to get here. Our people have no desire to go back to drifting the stars so their children's children can possibly settle on an inferior planet. Yes, of course. But we need to start from a firm position and state our goal. If need be, we can compromise, work out a mutually beneficial deal or some such, but initially I'd like you to be firm with them and convince them to leave the planet to us. Let me know how they respond, and we'll go from there. We thought about it, but it simply won't do. I need to think about the distant future of our people. Sure, our first settlement may be small, but our predecessors dreamt of our new civilization spreading across the globe. That will be difficult if someone else plans to do the same. While we're not completely close to the idea of sharing, it's much easier if we have complete domain over this world. Thank you, and Godspeed.
We've got strict rules around here, but they're strict for a reason. Just stay out of trouble.
Won't work to take down troublemakers.
Something I can help you with? Ah, it has a name. Good. Then you're already familiar with the situation, I take it. Do you know what they want? Interesting. We obviously have no records of a colony ship claiming this planet. Whatever the case, you'll need to speak with Oliver Campbell, a CEO for the Paradiso group. He's in charge of bringing all formal decisions before the board and helping to make calls on them. I'll let him know you're on your way.
Don't worry about us. We're just here to enjoy your stay, knowing you're in our capable hands.
If I could just stay here forever.
Hope you're staying
Excuse
safe
me,
out
you
there.
can't just waltz in there. Do you have an appointment? Oh, you're the one they're waiting for then. Do you need anything else from me before you meet with the board? People were a little freaked out around here, understandably. It looks so different and it's so massive. We honestly thought we were under attack by an unknown entity. But then, nothing happened. It just stayed there. No one could communicate with it. And we've been very careful not to alert the resort guests. The board believed it would be bad for business. What I could tell you would get me in a lot of trouble. Most of them are typical C-level execs. I doubt you even need to use your imagination for that. The ones that show up to work day to day, at least. I swear, I've never even met some of them, because they chill at their own private, secluded beach homes all the time. Anyway, be smart around Oliver. He's got a way of getting what he wants without you realizing it. And that's all I'll say. Sure. Have fun in the shark tank. And don't worry, even they call it that.
I just feel that we should be focusing on the natural beauty of this planet, not our amenities.
There are millions of planets out there. People can go to any one of them. The resort facilities are precisely what we bring to the table. Heck, it's the only thing we've really got to offer.
Hello? I didn't realize Kiwi was letting people in here. No, of course not. There's several more. We're just the ones who show up day to day. The others spend their time lazing on the beach or gallivanting off-world. Doesn't bother me, though. Less cooks in the kitchen means I get to make all the big decisions around here. Seems to be working out for us just fine. I am. And you must be the diplomat Giro told me about. Welcome, welcome. Normally I'd offer you an all-inclusive stay at our resort before we spoke. But given the circumstances, I'm going to cut to the chase. We've got our friends, the aliens, up there causing all sorts of problems for our resort. You like that? The marketing team came up with it. The thought is, if we can't get rid of them, it might actually attract more tourism. Come see the aliens! We've run a premier resort getaway here. We can't have our guests concocting stories about some budgy old ship hanging around up there. As it is, we've had to reroute our luxury liners round the other side of the planet on entry so no one sees it. It's bad for business. We need to nip this in the bud and take care of it before the tourists catch on and cause a scene. Ah, we're being direct then. Good on you. So, what do you know about this dodgy ship I'm hearing all about? I'd say you're full of it and might have been watching too many movies. Now, instead of wasting my time, want to tell me what it really is? Well, that's something. Shame we can't just tell them kindly to bugger off. Something tells me that's not going to work. Now, tell me, what are we going to do about it? Give me some proposals, people. I need something to work with here.
We could offer to resettle them here. There's more than enough space.
They could stay here, temporarily, but it'll cost them. Quite a bit, too. They'd need to work off all their debts before being allowed to leave.
Maybe not. What if we help them get out of here? Outfit their ship with a grav drive so they can find a new home. We could even lend our engineers to help and give their captain an updated star map. What do you think?
Sounds costly. We can't absorb that cost, and it's unlikely they even have compatible currency, let alone enough for the transaction. Someone else would have to foot the bill.
Oh, I swear this would be a lot easier if they ceased to exist entirely. Anyway, Seema's got the right idea. Either works for me. Just tell me what you want to do. I'm not suggesting anything, other than it would make our lives so much easier if that ship ceased existing. Make of that what you will. And which proposal will you be taking to the good captain? I assume there's a captain? Right. Assuming they agree to the terms, I've got a list of resources you'll need to gather and bring back so we can support the new arrivals. We'll need to improve our lodging and infrastructure, plus account for future projects to support an increased population. Don't care how you procure them, just make sure to bring them here with you before we can consider this a done deal.
This is not the best life they could lead, surely. But I suppose it is better than dying on a failing ship or running out of resources.
Right. On behalf of the Paradiso group, we appreciate your help. Belom's right.
Thank you.
We don't want to compete with Dion. They use ruthless. We'll do anything we can to eliminate the competition.
Yet another nice day in Paradiso. They're all nice days.
Every day's nice around here.
It may be paradise. That doesn't mean...
never trained to address threats coming from outside our ship.
The Constant is a peaceful ship. Don't change it. Careful waving that fancy gun around. We don't need to see it.
We've got strict rules around here, but they're strict.
No matter the outcome, I won't let my crew down. What's the good word? Then I'd need to know what that catch is before I could form an opinion. That doesn't sound so bad. My crew will need to get used to working for a living anyway. This seems agreeable. Is that all? I'm not sure what we can spare. That does seem reasonable. Okay, that's pretty good. Tell you what, talk to Daisuke, and he'll get you what we can spare. If you succeed, we'll see about finding some other ways to repay you as well. Thank you. Until next time.
Never seen a ship like yours before. Then again, I haven't seen any ship. We were never trained to address threats coming from outside our ship.
We've had to do our fair share of recycling on the Constant. Not exactly a lot of places to get new goods. There. Oh! Nice to meet you. And that's true. As you can imagine, everyone kind of just knows each other around here. Meeting new people isn't really a thing for us. Yeah, I know. It's funny, though. All our lives, nothing could prepare us for this. We were born into a universe where we legitimately thought we were the only people in existence. Anyway, sorry for freezing up before. I just didn't expect our visitor from the outside to stop by and chat with me. I figured, if anything, you'd be with the captain. I'm Daisuke, the ship's provisions manager. I'm not sure what I can offer you, but if I can help, I will. And if not, I'm happy just to talk. Oh yeah, she sent me a message. I have everything for you right here. It's all we can spare, so I sure hope you come through for us. Need anything else? Not really. Almost everything is... So when that happens, mostly... we manage. I know back on Earth, there used to be stores all over the place. But here, it works out for the most part. See you around. Keeping track of all our supplies is be seeing you.
Hey!
Boy, am I glad you weren't some sort of alien or something.
Now that we know what's out there, things are going to be more interesting from here on.
I wonder what else is out there.
I've lived my entire
Such a
life.
long time to survive on only the foods that can be grown here. I suppose being a picky eater was not an option.
Just because our equipment's old doesn't mean...
To be back in our own ship.
Just stay out of trouble.
We were never trained to address threats coming from outside our ship.
Careful waving that fancy gun around. We don't need to see what it is.
We didn't believe anyone would be out here. We didn't believe anyone would be out here. But I'm glad. Excellent. I'll have them stowed away for safekeeping. We'll bring them with us when we touch down on the surface. Is that everything now? Are we ready to head planetside? Some of us may have a little trepidation about leaving the ship, but the majority of us are excited. This has been our dream for generations. This generation was not expected to be here by now, but thanks to UA, we shaved decades off our journey. This is the chance to live on solid ground, have freedom to walk about, breathe fresh air. We've never had that experience. Oh, we're ready. Oh, righto. Oh, this is truly wonderful. I'll make an announcement to the crew straight away. If you would be so kind, we lost our landing shuttle years ago, so we'll need a ride down to the surface. Not all of us, mind you, just myself and a select few others. Will you do this for us? Splendid. Oh, we'll see you on your ship then.
Never seen a ship like yours before. Well, then again, I haven't seen any ships.
We got strict rules around here. They're strict for a reason.
Kicking off immediately.
I hope your stay is a pleasant one.
Incredible. The air... Oh, it's so...
It's hot. Not in a bad way, though.
So this is what fresh air is like. I could get used to this.
Thank you again for making this all possible. Oh my. Oh, it's almost too much. I've never seen such beauty, never experienced real nature. Pictures, videos, nothing does the real thing justice. I could do without some of the terms of this agreement, but if this is what it's like, I think we'll manage just fine. Thanks again. I'm looking forward to making this plan. Just think, if you hadn't had the courage to approach us when no one else would, we might still be stuck up there. I'm not sure yet. For now, it will stay in orbit, but it's possible we may need to dismantle or destroy it. Of course, it would be quite a shame to destroy such an important piece of human history. So I suppose it would do to seek an interested party and donate it for historical purposes. First, we need to meet with the settlement's leadership and confirm the details of our arrangement. Once we take care of that business, we'll begin the process of shuttling the rest of our people down and resettling them. I'm confident that with a few adjustments, we'll be able to assimilate into society, and once we pay off our debts, we'll travel wherever we want. Once again, thank you for your kindness and generosity. Your name will go down in our history books. You will always be welcome as a friend to our people.
I hope there is still a significant security role for me in our new life in Paradiso.
Good news. Regular flight paths have resumed. Enjoy the spectacular views on entry and ascent.